Context. This video is about context. This is my way of thinking, or how I orient myself, or how I understand things when it comes to practicing arnis. As a whole, there are different focuses one can take when practicing Filipino martial arts, and different expressions and applications one can use arnis for. It can be an art form for self-expression, a sport with rules, regulations, and games, or a means to defend oneself for personal protection. These different aspects have different training methodologies and orientations, and so when I'm practicing or demonstrating one thing, I may not necessarily be practicing for another. There are attributes that overlap, but the applications in mind lead the movements or the methods that I use. For example, if I'm practicing it as an art form or as a performance art, I just want to flow and look good and feel good as I move. I don't care if it won't be practical in combat or in sports or in self-defense or in the streets. I don't think about tactical strategies. I'm only thinking of the movements and how they make me feel and how I think they look. Now, obviously, this is still informed by combative knowledge, but it's not dictated by that context, at least not how I practice it. My movements are going to change the minute I decide I'm practicing for combative applications. For example, if I'm practicing for a specific combat sport format, I rehearse the movements, drills, and attribute exercises that I know will work for that particular format. You're probably seeing a different set of movements in the B-roll you're seeing right now compared to what you saw when I was talking about performance art. Now, when it comes to self-defense, admittedly, this is the most neglected aspect of my practice. And so when you watch my videos, more often than not, self-defense skills aren't what I'm trying to portray or demonstrate. And I think that gets misunderstood a lot of times. And by self-defense, I mean preparing for unsavory situations where I may need to protect my life through combative force or strategies, which is why I constantly refer out students who ask me to teach them self-defense. It's not something I'm particularly interested in, nor do I invest much time thinking about it. I'm more here for art and for sport, and so I carry myself accordingly, and I try my best to make that context clear when I present my videos about my practice, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And that was pretty much one of the main purposes of this video, to give you guys context to my intentions when you see me move and when you see me train. But what I also wanted to get to was this. I often see people shaming martial artists for what they do or how they practice because it's not aligned with one's notion of how the art is supposed to be practiced, without first asking if they're even trying to accomplish the same thing. There are so many avenues and focuses to practice arnis, and I personally believe that any one of them is a valid pursuit, as long as you're being honest about what you're doing. So when you see a video of someone doing something that you feel won't work, based on what you've learned, based on what your experiences are, ask yourself first, what's the context? What is he or she doing this for? I find that pausing for a moment has helped me appreciate so many more videos that a younger version of myself would have easily dismissed, because I also used to assume other people should be training the same way I train. I think a lot of us at some point of our journey go through that phase of my style is the best style, right? But as I grew in FMA and as I met more people doing different things, I've learned to appreciate not just the different training methods done by different styles and systems, but also the different priorities and directions of each school or each individual practitioner. We might sometimes be doing the same thing, but aiming for different goals. So that's my thoughts on that, my opinions on context when it comes to what you're seeing or what you're watching, and my personal paradigm or how I understand things while I'm practicing arnis, especially since we're in a field that's so diverse with different styles, goals, systems, methodologies, orientations, and so on. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.